Hey you guys, it's Emily from DC Sound Attack. We're here at Uprising Festival and I'm here joined with Voidwalker, the lovely Robbie, and the lovely Joe. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, doing great.
Amazing. So I give you a little lovely introduction of like, you know what, like you guys are in for a treat.
We love the energy.
Because we're into dive. Oh, yeah. Thank you. More importantly, how are you guys? How are you doing?
Pretty good.
You do
really
feel good.
Yeah, super excited, hyped. Had a lot of fun earlier on stage and all the rest, and now we're just enjoying the atmosphere.
Good. Yeah, amazing. I mean, to be fair, I'll keep it short for you because there's a lot to dive in. Like, there's a lot that we could talk about. But I think, you know what? Melts the Masses, winners, 2023. How, as an experience, was that for you? I bet you get asked a lot of like, oh,
definitely.
But just overall, what's your take on it? How?
Bloodstock that year.
Yeah.
Best weekend of my entire life. Like, just absolutely electric.
On a high, the whole,
Right, it was like an adrenaline high from the moment our names were called out, and like we were in just like disbelief all the way right until that weekend in August, and then after just riding that for like months.
That's incredible.
Just a bit of like a mad summer, to be honest. Like,
But no, it was nice because like I think one of the best things about Metal to the Masses and the rest is the networking. So even if you don't win every year, you get to meet loads of cool bands and promoters and other stuff. And like off the back of that, like we reached out to all of the regions. We said, guest headliners, we want to be part of it. And we got to go all over the country as a result of it. And just honestly, it was such a great experience because then you meet more people and all the rest and so on and so forth. And like, that's incredible.
I was going to say, because you've got to do it for Melts the Masses in Brum as well, obviously. And I was like, I remember that because I was doing the box of it and I was like, you know what? These guys are really, really cool. I was like,
it was very fun. I always like playing the flapper. It's like a nice little like cozy stage, but you can fit like way more people in there than you would think.
Oh, see, that's interesting. That links on to my next question of like, say, I guess it's a bit cheesy, but like a highlight for you guys from playing somewhere like the Flapper. It's a really intimate venues that you've done in the past, then playing something like Bloodstock. How is that kind of transition for you?
They all have their own charm. Like there is that rock star feeling of playing a big stage like Bloodstock, seeing the throngs of crowds in front of you, like pushing, like moshing, all the rest. But then at the same time, it makes me think of our EP release show for the Slow Decay at Duffy's. Duffy's being a tiny bar in Leicester city centre. You could not fit more than like 100 people in there. We packed out the place. We had like a huge lineup with great people on there, and like honestly, like when we started playing, like there were people like we couldn't ask people to move forwards because they were already pushed up against the monitors. And honestly, like it's one of the things that makes the smaller venues and like the local ones really special is like when you see like all of the local people, like all the rest it's just an experience you cannot like explain.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, someone we were talking to earlier, we were talking about playing at the Chameleon, which unfortunately shut down last year. But which is one reason we need to keep these venues alive.
It's valid. Absolutely.
Chameleon Voidwalker in Nottingham was. This is before we did Melts the Masses. This is just like I can't remember who it was specifically, but we did it. We played a show at the Chameleon. And it was just fantastic. Like sound system just crunching.
Amazing. And that's so cool.
Like people just two-stepping everywhere, like throwing themselves around.
If you're not two-stepping at a Voidwalker gig, I think, you know what, like...
Well, that's the thing, sometimes we'll play to a bigger audience and a bigger stage, and there's people just all sat there like... and it's just like, all right.
All right.
I'd rather it was a smaller venue with people throwing themselves around, like two-stepping, than a bigger venue where people are just sitting there like they want to thinking about what they're having to their tea or something.
That's like one of the things where like seeing the people like throwing down and all the rest to it made me go and learn how to two-step. Like I spent a good month trying to do it, and also trying to do it while you're holding a guitar as well. It's quite funny. But again, because I've seen a few people on stage, like it was Break Them or one of the bands, like Lorna, the guitarist. During one of like the like kind of breaks in the middle of one of their songs, she was two-stepping while holding the guitar, and I was just like, I love that energy. And so I was just like, I need to do that.
That's amazing.
It's interesting you mentioned Break Them actually, because the like Break Them, who are a hardcore band, they're playing in Melts to the Masses tomorrow. Go see them. Like the hardcore community, at least in like recent years, especially in Leicester and also across the East Midlands as well, like the energy they have and the commitment to their shows, and people who will just show up to whatever show it is regardless, is something that is to be admired by basically everyone. Like the metalheads like to keep to themselves and sort of like sometimes like to maybe talk ill of hardcore, but hey, they're getting people to shows, so
absolutely, man.
You can't knock them for it, really.
That's incredible. I think that ties in nicely with how your sound is. I mean, Dreaming Monochrome, that was released last year. any new music? I'm like, geez, what are you writing at
we
the
are writing.
Okay, you're writing. They're
we are
writing
heavy
capital
in the
W.
writing.
Okay.
We are potentially, well, I
Okay.
say potentially, we're going to be playing, like, live debuting a new track off the upcoming material in
Awesome.
a couple of the gigs coming up in summer this year, so
Okay.
like June, July-ish.
Oh, amazing.
But yeah, other than that, like, we're kind of changing up the whole writing process. Like, previously, it was sort of like myself and Callum, our drummer, we would do the majority of the writing, and then everyone in the band would put their spin on it. So they'd tweak it here and there, they'd change a few notes or like a few things, put a few suggestions in.
Or we'd decide, hold on, no one can actually play that.
Yeah, or it's like Callum has told me many times. Yeah. Like literally, Callum has said to me, like,
That's amazing.
in fact, if you look at some of our tabs and stuff, if they ever made it out into the public eye,
Yeah.
you'd see there's two drum tracks. There is the one that Robin wrote, and then one that it says Callum's actual track that he can play that doesn't need 8 arms and 3 legs.
Oh, bless.
But yeah, no. So this time, like we're getting all of us round like into one room. We're all writing together, effectively, like as a collective thing.
Okay.
It's like stuff done quicker as well.
Yeah, it's definitely quicker, but it's this really nice sort of like shift in the overall sound. Like we're still this genreless, chaotic mess of energy.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like diverting into like a new direction, which I'm really excited to kind of like show to people and the rest.
Oh,
and,
that's sick. That's really cool to hear.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting because I think people who say like it was seeing you at a gig, you've got such a charm and like a real sort of nice way of having a stage presence where it's like, okay, we can feel that you're so passionate about music and you've poured a lot into the songwriting. I mean, as a band, like songwriting so far that you guys have done, how is that for you when you step into a studio or you guys are like, okay, I've got this idea, I need to get it down, or like, how is that for you? Because I'm listening to it, I'm like, how did they come up with this? It's fucking sick.
It's an interesting one because like sometimes we are in the studio and we're just like, why did we write this? So we're just like sitting there like really stretching like the physical limitations of like what we can do and the rest. But it's this weird amalgamation of like you have like your deathy kind of like influences. And,
I mean,
okay.
our influences all come from different places. Like,
Okay,
I like
I
my
mean,
grindcore, I
please,
like my
like,
doom.
absolutely fire away your influences of like, because I think it's interesting of people listening to you for the first time.
I think like obviously when we started off, it was very much sort of
it was more corey.
a lot more corey, a lot more sort of partway drive.
But that was like the influences from Callum and myself, because again we were the main songwriters. And then when we started bringing in like Amaya, who's like into like the sugary kind of like heavy stuff,
nice.
and Miguel with his like super heavy like
really heavy vocals.
The bricks rubbing against each other kind of vocals.
And then
awesome. I completely
now we
get that. I
started
can
writing
hear it.
recently. I'd say I listen to a lot of stuff like Pig Destroyer and like Worm Rot,
nice.
like grind bands basically. And then also like there's a lot of like doom influence, especially with like some stuff like Electric Wizard and perhaps like
sick.
Cathedral. When we get down to like when the breakdowns when the breakdowns sort of like get so slow to the point that it's basically doom. That's kind of where.
Well, one of the
the
songs that you were primarily writing is a very grindy based song.
Yeah.
That I am quite excited to start learning and kind of like get that out there as well. Because it's one of the ones where it's like well, I feel like all of the songs are different to each other on the upcoming stuff. Like they feel like they're each in their own little silos and stuff. But yeah.
Wow.
And it's still got that prog tech element to it. It's just sort of the way we approach those elements with other sort of genres influence involved. It's sort of that's how we kind of
Bless. You know what? That's really fascinating to hear because I think hearing that you've all got so many different influences and different subgenres and they've all just meshed together, and it sounds like it, but in a great way that you've kind of melded it as your own. You put your own spice on it. You know, you've really, I think, especially for local bands and like West Midlands, East Midlands, like especially with Melts the Masses, and not only that, but having that stage and that platform for Bloodstock, I think, and you've got a lot to look forward to this year as well. I mean, gig-wise, like, has there been a highlight for you? Say at Bloodstock, it was a massive moment, but say if it was like a tiny gig, or say you had a fan interaction that really meant a lot to you, what's a highlight for you in that sense?
I think for me, the big gig highlight is a tie between the Bloodstock weekend and then the weekend where we played Tech Fest, which I dearly miss.
Yes, absolutely.
But
Shout
then
out.
the small gig highlight for me is definitely like the EP release show, just because it was like to see so many people there for like a gig that we put on all the rest. It was like it meant so much.
Amazing. What about yourself?
some like interesting with like the one we played at played Satan's Hollow with Existentialists.
Oh,
this
Manny,
year.
nice. Okay,
But like
awesome.
Like
Wow.
it's because it's like primarily a nightclub. It's like and the stage is like central.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a
What was
it's an
that
odd
like
setup, but the
performing?
sound's
There's
nice.
a really cool video of someone's put on socials of them walking around us as we're playing like Artificial Sanctity.
Yeah.
And so of course it's cool because you can hear like it's when he's standing next to Callum, all you can hear is cymbals, obviously.
Yeah.
And as you kind of come around, you start to hear me a bit, and then you hear Miguel more as he goes. It's so cool. Like, I love that. It's such an unique venue.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like-
sick.
Stuff like a Southwest Heavy Fest as well.
Yeah.
Like down in Bridgewater, a little tiny town in like Somerset, or I think it's Somerset.
Yeah,
Am I getting that wrong?
But they got some huge names on there.
Yeah, I mean they've got like Osiah this year.
Yeah,
or,
mental.
I think that happened in April, but yeah. It's,
I mean, I guess it's the same thing of like when I remember when I saw at Scruffy Murphy's in Birmingham and just doing something as small as capacity as that, and then do so again. It must be the same thing for you of going from something like, for example, like the Flapper, and then you had the stage at Bloodstock and being able to represent. I mean, something that I'm doing with all of the bands today, which I find quite fascinating, is I'd love to ask you. Say someone's just saw you live, never seen you before, and they're like, oh, okay, that was a great set, guys. Absolutely love that. And they want to start getting into you. They want to start getting into your genre, your style. What's a song that you would say, like, say if it was Dreaming in Monochrome, or you'd be like, okay, this is an introduction to Voidwalker.
Well, this is the problem here, is because all our songs are so
about to say that.
different. Yeah.
This is
I'd say
absolutely.
Dreaming Monochrome probably is a good place to start.
Okay,
Like,
interesting.
Generally,
Okay, nice.
it's sort of
It's a nice middle ground. It's groovy.
it covers a lot of our influences, I think.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe Pacifist Defeatist as well.
Pacifist is like a hidden one because Callum buried it later. But he pushed it down to like the back of the album,
Yeah.
which I was definitely annoyed
Wow.
about. I hated Callum.
Because it's got, I mean, this is the thing as well, is like,
It's made me giggle.
I love the song, but the problem is it gets barely any listens because it's
Yeah,
like
love
at the
it,
back
but
of the album.
yeah.
Like, anyways, yeah.
Oh,
I
bless
think
you.
the thing with
Oh.
that one as well is like, Callum wrote the bulk of it, I think.
He did.
Yeah, and like there's some parts of it which people said, oh, that's black metal.
Yeah.
And obviously I quite like my black metal, so I've given my like black metal influence to it. And Callum's like, well, I didn't intend it to be black metal. It's just ended up sounding that way.
We have some accidental black metal sections that
Yeah.
are just labelled there because Callum put some blasts in. We've got some really nice discordant chords.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, that sounds like Enslaved. And he's like, I don't listen to Enslaved. And I'm like, cool, you do now.
Oh.
But yeah,
That's awesome.
I think Dreaming in Monochrome is a safe like middle ground one.
Yeah.
If you like the technical riffs and stuff like Boiling Point or Artificial Sanctity.
It's got that
Yeah.
hardcore thing going on
But
as
if
well.
you like the heavy like deathcore stuff like
Yeah.
Scorn. Scorn is probably our
Sick,
heaviest track.
okay.
And then, like
Nice.
Tar Stained Lips as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. I think, you know what a sick way to round it off, because there's something, everyone in Voidwalker, there is something for everybody, and I think that's what's the best thing about you guys, is like your USP in a sense, if I be so technical myself. But guys, honestly, thank you so much for your time, because
No worries,
this
no
has been Voidwalker. Thank you so much, guys. You've been
Thank you very
legends.
much.
Thank you so much. Guys, please check them out if you haven't already. Come on, get on it, Voidwalker. Come on.